Welcome to a special River Talk Extra. I'm here with Phil of Bad Custer, and we're here to talk about the third annual Indie-Rockfest. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, I can't hear you though.
Oh, let me get a little closer here.
All right. So I'm doing well. So I'm excited about this event. It's the third year, our second year involved. Have you guys been involved in the Indie-Rockfest before?
It is our second year involved as well.
Did you perform last year?
We did, yeah.
So we both came in at the same time.
We did, yeah.
So
not on the ground floor, but on the second floor.
You were on the second floor. Yeah, I was on the bottom floor, and we tried to stream it, but they have these powerful walls at Cativo.
The basement stage is a sound just like concrete walls on either side. It's a container box full of music, which is great if you're on stage and you're blasting out to everyone. I can imagine recording would be very tough in that environment.
The recording's fine because the way that we do things is we tap directly into the soundboard.
Oh, sure, okay.
But the problem is we were trying to broadcast it live, but these walls, which are great for music and everything,
cellular reception.
We couldn't get their Wi-Fi at all.
Yeah.
But it was such a great event, so I just got to enjoy it then, which
you
was
got
great.
to cut the cords, yeah.
Exactly,
Be in
which
the
was
moment.
a lot of fun. So, what was your impression last year?
There's a lot of festivals that have kind of sprung up in the past couple years, and some of them are sort of top down, where it's a lot of big names, a lot of big sponsors, and those are cool in their own way, but it was really cool to be a part of something that was just totally built from the ground up. This community effort, Nathan, put in all of the work that he did, and really, it was a very personal thing for us to be a part of. Every band brought their people. When they all came together, it was a really sizable crowd, and it was just a nice statement about how we can kind of make our own scene here when we work together. So yeah, it was awesome. We were the last band to close out, and by the time we got up there, everyone was having a good time. The booze was flowing. We probably were supposed to play a 45-minute set. We played for an hour and a half.
Nice.
Busted out the jams, and it was just a really awesome time.
Yeah, that's one thing I do love about this festival is it is such a great atmosphere in the fact that you could just you can keep going and make it fun, and it's wonderful. It's going to be Saturday next week, April 14th at 4 p.m. So we were supposed to have you guys on Sunday, but it was Easter, and I'm like, oh shit.
It turns out that people celebrate holidays. Yeah, it caught me by surprise too. It was also April Fool's Day, and I'm sure every joke about that has been made already.
Oh yeah. So, but no, this is going to be a good time. So, when you don't know when you're going to be performing yet, correct?
We're going to be on. I could look it up right now if that's radio friendly. I think we're going around 8.
8.
I
Okay.
want to say we're solidly in the middle of the lineup, but
you've had a chance to look at the lineup. It looks pretty great this year.
Oh yeah,
everything looks wonderful.
Absolutely. So
this is going to be a lot of fun. It's the third year, I believe, and they're going to condense it down to one stage this year, which I think will be cool. And it's going to be awesome. A lot of great. I know they've upped their sponsorship levels too this year, which is going to be cool. And it is cool because this year, what I really like is that they're really expanding to so many different genres of music, which I think is pretty cool too.
There's a huge variety and diversity of sounds in Pittsburgh. One of the things that I've kind of noticed playing music for the past 15 years in the city is there's a lot of kind of little scenes going on. Especially some of it is genre based. So yeah, you get all the rock people together, you get all the country people or all the R&B people together, and you don't see a lot of bridges cross. The other thing is the physical bridges. If you're an Oakland band and you're playing the South Side, no one's going to come see you. So it's always good to see people kind of making those bridges. We're the city of bridges, so.
Now, do you think there's any drawbacks to that? Because it's weird because some people, especially people who live in a bubble. For example, I love to go and explore all different types of music, and I love the multi-genre aspect. But some people, they're just, I don't know, they just live in their bubble and they don't want to listen to anything else.
Yeah, I think there's a place, certainly a place for a focused music night or a focused festival. If you want to have a blues festival, it would not make sense to book a polka band to be the opening act. People are there for that specific thing, but. I'm a fan of, I like to go to and I like to be a part of festivals that celebrate music and creativity of all kinds. I think that people learn more and they experience more stuff that they're not expecting at a place like that. So, we've definitely done both. We've played festivals that are more rock heavy, but, it's always fun to be a part of something like this.
Yeah, I agree. And it's wonderful to cover something like that because to me, it's greater. It's a greater opportunity to explore and really diversify your own palette of music. And a festival like this really, especially a festival like this, because it is a smaller number of bands, it's condensed or it's contained to one venue. So you really have the opportunity to sit there and explore everything. You don't have the chance, like I love the Millville Music Festival, obviously. I am taking a huge part of organizing that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You have 190 some bands, and you can pick the bands that you want to see, and you can go and kind of ignore the ones that you maybe aren't as familiar with. Whereas a festival like this, you're forced to then see the bands you like, but then you can experiment and learn about some of these other bands in a way that doesn't allow you the opportunity to cherry pick. Yeah,
there's no way if you go to a Millville Music Festival or a Deutschtown to see every act.
Sure.
And that's something that Indie-Rockfest gives you the opportunity to do. It's this very curated collection of artists, and yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people there are going to be like the musicians themselves supporting each other. All of the people that we bring. The fact that the lineup was announced relatively late ends up working out well. People are going to show up early. They're going to stay late. We're playing at 9:45, by the way.
Okay.
It's way off. But yeah, I like the idea of everyone kind of being there together.
Now, is there a band that you haven't performed with yet that's going to be on the lineup?
I think there's a few of them, yeah. We have played with Essential Machine a few times. We're buddies with them, and they rock the house, and we're going to be playing right alongside them. So we're looking forward to that.
Who are you looking forward to meeting?
I would have to get back to you on that because I'll need to look at the list because, yeah.
Well, no, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I am going to mention the list.
Sure.
For those who are listening here. We have Sunhound, There You Are, which has been there. We had them in the studio not too long ago. They were there from the very first Indie-Rockfest. Same with Standard Broadcast, obviously, with Nathan J. putting all of this together. Bad Custer, who we have here with you, Phil, BB Guns, Back Alley Sound, and Essential Machine that you mentioned. So
yeah, I don't think we played with BB Guns before, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be cool. So I do want to mention the sponsors that we have for the event. We have Urban Capital Group, and we have the River's Edge as well here, and Mike Music Industry Connected. So lots of great sponsors as well. But I'm excited. Last year, was there anything that surprised you about the event?
That's a good question. I will say we were loading in, and there was a very, very drunk man who repeatedly getting kicked out of the bar. That provided some good diversion while we were getting all of our stuff in. But I mean, once we got inside, it was run extremely professionally. Like every band had its set time. Like the breakdown and the setup was extremely smooth, and yeah, it was just a good time overall.
Yeah, it's fun. Have you ever been to a bar with someone who has been escorted out of the building?
Yes, a few times. A few times while I was playing various shows.
Oh,
Something
wow.
about live music really brings the
and somebody that you knew was there. Was that an awkward situation to be in?
Someone I knew.
Yeah, was there anyone that you knew that was kicked out?
I've never been kicked out. I can say that, and I don't think so. I think there's been a few kind of. Oh, you know what? My brother, who might be watching right now, on his 21st birthday, we took him to Hemingway's in Oakland, and he barfed all over the floor, and he was not allowed to stay in the establishment after that. So it was a successful 21st birthday.
Well, at least that's not so bad. So I was at a casino once, and it was when the Meadows just first opened. I think it was still a tent.
Okay.
And my friend asked me if I would go to the casino. He said, "Could you go and be the designated driver?" I said, "I'll go to the casino, but I will not be the designated driver." I'm not a gambler, so I didn't have any interest in gambling.
Got to do something to pass the time. Yeah.
Exactly, but I did want to check the place out. So we go all the way up to Greensburg for some reason, and we're living in the Mon Valley, which is not far from the from the Meadows Casino.
Yeah,
so we drive all the way up to Greensburg to pick this guy up, who's friends with my friend Dave, who invited me. And I just got a bad feeling from this guy, and I said, "This guy's trouble." I pulled him off to the side. I said, "This guy's trouble. I could just tell." And he's like, No, he's cool, man. He's cool." So I said, "Okay." So we made the trek back down to Washington, and we're there and I'm sitting at the bar at the Meadows, and I see security hauling this guy's ass out of the casino. And he makes it back in somehow. And
boy.
I see them hauling him out back again, and I'm just sitting there sipping on a margarita, just laughing because it was, it was entertainment. It was great
sure,
for me.
yeah. And I'm sure, I talked to the security people at Cativo last year. It's entertaining for them too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because
yeah.
I think that, a person who is at that level, they think they're being sneaky, but it's like the first thing that you would expect them to do.
Well, this guy wasn't drunk.
Oh.
He was being sneaky, though, but he
okay.
was just a very bad sneak. He was trying to smuggle his own alcohol into the casino.
It's a classy move.
They threw him out twice.
Turns out they frown upon that.
Yeah, they do. And I'm sure Cativo won't want you to bring in your own alcohol.
No, hey, no one coming to this, don't bring your own booze.
Don't bring your own booze. No.
Patronize the establishment. It's the polite thing to do.
So I'm with Phil here of Bad Custer. Tell me about what you guys have going on. What is different on your guys' end from last year's Indie-Rockfest to this year's?
Oh man, so a lot, and we've changed a lot since the last time we spoke, which was 3 years ago now, I think. We started off as a 3-piece band. We have now ballooned up to between 5 and 6 people, depending on the night. We started off, just guitar, bass, and drums, the holy trinity of rock and roll. Last year we added a keyboard player, so we were a 4-piece at last year's Indie-Rockfest. And this year we're going to be doing a 5-piece ensemble.
Oh, wow.
We have 2 guitars, keyboard, bass, and drums. So it's been really cool to be, we started off with this very kind of tight, focused, kind of punchy sound. And we still have that, but we've been able to add so many more layers to our music. We have an album out now too, which hopefully we'll be selling a few copies at Indie-Rockfest, and being able to lay down our tracks and kind of put them into not a complete form, but sort of a crystallized form, and then be able to extend beyond that has been really cool. So it's what a difference a year makes. It's been pretty crazy for Bad Custer.
Yeah, that's great. And it is amazing because I just last year I think we were still in the old studio. Yeah, so it's been a huge improvement for us too. And now I have equipment where I don't have to tear apart this entire studio. When I make a trip like that, so, which is great.
Yeah, no, I like the new digs. This is very nice.
So what else do you guys have going on? What other shows do you have in addition to Indie-Rockfest? And I know you're going to be performing at the Millville Music Festival.
We will be at the
well.
Millville. And I was saying before we went on, I just moved out of Millville, so the timing couldn't be worse. But we are going to be playing Millville Music Festival in May. We're going to be playing the night before at Liveberg Studio, opening up for Raylan Nelson. Memorial Day,
an awesome place. Liveberg, it's so cool.
We are one of the artists in residence at Liveberg.
Oh,
so
really? Nice.
That's where we practice, and we get to hang out with a lot of people that come through there, which is pretty awesome. But we are going to be playing the Lionfire Festival, which is up in Slippery Rock, Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
We're playing with Recluse. I know Morgan Arena is going to be there as well. And we have a smattering of smaller shows. I think we're going to actually be downstairs here at the Mr. Small's Funhouse. That is sometime in May, but badcuster.com, we've got our full schedule.
So what's the name of that festival you said in Slippery Rock?
It is called Lionfire Festival.
Lionfire. That is such a cool name. Do you know where that came from?
I have no idea. It's going to be our first time playing, and we just booked it, so there's a lot of details that have yet to come in, but I know it's at a lake. So it's going to be some sort of outdoor lakeside Memorial Day music festival. We're really looking forward to it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I might have to actually make a trip up there. Is that on a Saturday?
It's on a Saturday. May 26th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm still in my current position at work, so you work. Do you work a full-time job? I imagine.
I do. Yeah. I actually I've been about a year and a half making wooden iPhone cases.
Really?
Well, iPhone, Samsung, and Google Pixel. It's a company called Kerf Case.
Oh, wow.
We have a little shop in Point Breeze, and it's a 3-man team right now. But it's we do all the work by hand, and we sell a couple dozen cases every week, and it's really cool.
So that's really interesting. I've never seen that. So that's a local company then. You said there's 3 people. Mm-hmm. I imagine you probably work around the clock with that because when it's such a small group and you're trying to get stuff out.
It's a relatively stable in terms of hours. It's it's a 9 to 5, but it's there's only 3 of us running an entire business. So on a given day, I'll be doing some CNC machining and some customer service and some billing and shipping and some marketing and all sorts of stuff. So it really keeps me on my toes, and I'm picking up a lot of skills especially in the marketing and branding area that is extremely applicable to being in a band, because a band is a small business, when you really get down to it. So,
Oh, absolutely.
figuring out how to be entrepreneurial, figuring out how to, get your name out there in a creative way without spending too much money. Like those are problems that every band faces. So, there's this cool synchronicity. In fact, we made a time lapse, a kerf case, on our YouTube page of a week, how a case gets made over the course of a week, and we used a Bad Custer track from our album as the backing track.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And we branded like a log with our logo, and we're probably going to be doing some like branded wooden merch. So it's always fun when things come together.
That's awesome, because that's one thing that I love when a band comes out with unique merch to sell, because I'm just somebody. Now, I may be changing my philosophy, because now that we do more video, I've been thinking, if I get band shirts, I can wear the different band shirts on while I'm on air.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I have so many T-shirts from so many, maybe because I'm active in the community, so I get so many like freebies, that when I see a merch table and I see T-shirts for sale, I think like, it's another T-shirt to throw in with my, hundreds of other T-shirts.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So stuff like that I really like. There were some bands I know. Actually, Jonathan, who was just on with the Millville Music Minute, his band Existential Gentlemen had coasters that they sold. Stuff like that I really am more interested in as just somebody who has so many T-shirts.
The swag bag runneth over, yeah.
Yeah.
We're toying around with coasters, Custer coasters, of course. We thought it would be cool just to grab a bunch of random tchotchkes from thrift stores and just be like, this isn't branded in any way, but if you want something cool and you want to support the band, give us $1, we'll give you a tchotchke. I'm a big fan of Smokey Bellows, and I'm sure they're playing the Millville Music Festival, but they teamed up with a jerky company, and they sell beef jerky at every live show, and they have a flavor named after them. So
I know Grey Walker has their own hot sauce that they sell. But to me, that's practical. It's something I can use, and it's not just another T-shirt. Like nothing against T-shirts. It's just how many can you have?
Yeah. I mean, you basically have to start with the T-shirt, but I think there's in the media environment, in the business environment that we are in, you got to kind of find a way to stand out from the crowd.
Do you have more luck with the unique merch than the staple T-shirt? And
we're
stuff like
very
that?
bad at remembering to bring our merch and selling it, so it's a work in progress. My sense is along the lines of what you're saying, is that people might want to buy a T-shirt. They hopefully are going to want to buy an album, but if there's especially if they've got a few beers in them, if there's something totally unique that has our name on it, that's gonna they're gonna remember us, they might actually use it. I think that's a major step up.
Yeah, that's very cool. So there's going to be opportunities to sell merch at the Indie-Rockfest, I imagine.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be cool. I know last year it was great. They had different stages for the sponsors and spaces for merch and stuff like that, which was really, really nice. And I know it was well placed, too, because that's one thing. A lot of times you go to different concerts and things like that, and the merch is in this far back off corner, way away from everything.
It should be like a museum gift shop. You have to go through the merch section to get in and get out.
That was one thing that Altar Bar did really well when they were around, is you literally walked into the merch table as you walked into the venue, and there was really no way to avoid it.
They get it, yep.
Yeah, which was cool. So, yeah, it's exciting. What are you looking forward to most out of the coming Indie-Rockfest, which is going to be April 14th, 4 p.m.? April
14th, 4 p.m., we're on at 9:45. I'm just looking forward to seeing my friendly faces again. And, we played really late last time, and that was awesome. I'll be curious to see what the energy is like at 9:45 is not early, but...
No, but it's not terribly late either.
Yeah, no, I think we'll be hitting a nice sweet spot there. So I'm looking forward to feeling the vibes.
So Nathan's been mentioning, and let's see. He says that
he's correcting all the things that I'm saying.
Yeah, he says you guys
Indie-Rockfest.
have a much better slot this year, so that's cool, and that you guys were great last year, and that your album kicks ass.
Thank you.
Yeah, so lots of complimentary things from Nathan, and Lori says, "Where's my rock and roll man.
That's my wife.
Okay.
And love, I will be home very soon.
Okay, so she's calling you home. So have you
Yes.
had dinner yet? Is she are you guys going to eat dinner? When
I've
you
been
get
great.
home?
So we're doing the Whole30 diet. I don't know if you're familiar with
don't
this
know.
monstrosity. So
I don't diet at all.
You're much wiser than I am. No carbs, no sugar, no alcohol, no legumes, so no peanuts, no peas, nothing like that.
Wow.
No processed food of any kind, no artificial sweeteners. So you're basically limited to meat, vegetables, and fruit. And we're on like day 5, and I'm starting to feel it.
What about
so.
coffee? Can you drink
You can
coffee?
do coffee, just no sugar, no cream.
Oh, well, I don't use that anyway. So
Then you're good.
I could do that.
Yeah,
but
cigarettes are okay. So
my big thing is meat. I am a carnivore. Well, I'm not a carnivore. I do like to go in and eat vegetables and stuff like that. I just kind of eat whatever I want, but I couldn't do any diet that limits the amount of meat that you have to eat.
I've gone vegetarian for very small periods of time, but it's tough to walk away from. I actually have a meat smoker. Another example of synergy, I smoke like giant pieces of pork, and I take the wood scraps home from my work at Curve Case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I would have a tough time giving up meat too.
Yeah, no, I know I'm not even going to attempt it. It's just something that is not going to happen. So, Bad Custer says no legumes.
No legumes, no beans. So I don't, without meat, I don't know how I'd get my protein. I'd just keel over.
Yeah, no, that would be awful. So, very cool. So that is going to be April 14th, 4 p.m. You guys are on at 9:45 p.m.
Yep.
Anything else you want to plug before we play one of your songs?
Well, you're going to hear some of our music. You can check us out at badcuster.com. We have our whole album up for free. You can check us out on Bandcamp, on Facebook, on Instagram, anywhere where you'd find a band, we're there. And yeah, check us out.
If you get it for free, don't give them a donation.
Please.
Yes,
We
that would
take
be
tips.
Great. So, all right, so we're going to play here Andrea, and that's the first one on the list, and you said that would be a good one to play, so
Yep.
we've got that, and then we got to work on getting Bad Custer in rotation, too. That's the next step.
We'll be in touch.
We'll be
Don't
in
worry.
touch. All right, sounds good. So we've got Andrea. That was Phil from Bad Custer. I'm Brian Crawford. This has been a River Talk Extra edition. We're an Indie-Rockfest edition, which is going to be, again, April 14th, 4 p.m. Do not miss it. We're going to have Sunhound in studio on Sunday, so that'll be great, too. So more interviews leading into the festival, so make sure you're there.
Well, Andrea was a drifter and a grifter for cash during her college years in a little town outside of Prague. That is until she met a guy named Gary and they got married in a little fire hall back in the States. She had a couple of kids and the lids of her eyes were yellow from the nicotine, at least that's what she was told. She drove around at night drinking light beer with the stereo turned all the way up, listening to Lucinda Williams' car wheels on a gravel road. Well, since then she spends most of her time at home drinking alone, watching CNN and thinking about the war. She switched from beer to liquor a little while ago, and Gary got a bit thicker in a part-time job at a convenience store. It was usually her job to pick the kids up from school on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoons, and when they got in the van, it always smelled like a bar. She merged onto the freeway, hit a curb, and then she swerved in the other lane, and right into the head of an on